Hello, friends. When we take up this question of whether past lives are real or not, we also have to go into what is real to us. How do we experience this world? This chair, the sofa that I'm sitting on, is real to me, would be real to you because you can see it with your eyes, I can feel it with my hands. Whatever we can perceive with the five senses is what is real to us. We are used to perceiving world in this way. Yet many of us have experienced deja vu, for example. We feel that intuition we have experienced, we feel somebody is going to call, and they call. We have a feeling about somebody we have met for the first time, the feeling comes true. We see something in a dream, it comes true. So many of us have experienced events and situations which are not limited to the five senses. And we put a question mark to it, but those are real too. When I meet people for therapeutic sessions, I've often asked them, have you ever experienced anything out of the ordinary which you can explain with your five senses? Almost 70 to 80% people say yes, they have. Some have experienced ghosts. Are ghosts real? We can't touch them by our hands. We can't like hear them in the sense that not everybody would be able to hear them. Maybe one person is hearing them talking, but the others are not. So we have to take this into account that we are used to denying the reality of something that we cannot experience ourselves. Our ancient rishis mapped the energy channels inside our body. They named the chakras. But to the people who can only experience the physical body, the energy channels are not real. So, what we call real is what we can experience based on where we are. So, if there is another person, let's say, whose sixth sense is more open, intuition is more open, or they can see, sense beyond the five senses, to the person who cannot, it would be unreal to them. That is why these experiences are very subjective. As a doctor, when I look at past life regression therapy, I what is very concrete to me, and I have approached it as a scientist, when we see that, oh, when we do this, do we get some results? Can we verify some of this? Is it bringing some benefit to someone? So I see as a scientist, as an observer, that it brings enormous benefits. It brought enormous benefit in my life, releasing the personal situation that I was facing at that time. It helped me so much. Sometimes we need an understanding to heal. Maybe it gives just that. Maybe it releases karma. Maybe it shifts the energy. But the results that we experience are real. So, based on this, I can say that if we look at the evidence, there is plenty of evidence where past lives have been verified. A pilot crashed his plane in a past life, experienced in a past life session, and they are able to tell the name of the plane, the name that they had as this past life person, and it was verified. There are plenty of cases. There are children who have remembered their past lives, their past life parents, their past life homes, and they have been able to go there and meet them, and that's verified too. So now there is, I feel, because of the technology, when there is like so much communication, so much research and data is available, it's hard to deny that there is something here. How could so many people couldn't be lying when there is so much of data which has been verified? There are people who are able to speak different languages when under regression. They are, uh, instances of where a new person feels familiar and they experience them in a past life. And the understandings which come from past life, I'll say they definitely help, first in terms of healing relationships. So, the enormous benefit that past life regression therapy brings is in understanding sometimes when the relationships are hard, also. It brings it that understanding, sometimes it can bring in that karmic release. It really helps in healing phobias. Some of the fears could be coming from a past life. The past life, when it is experienced, can be experienced in two ways. It can be experienced by a session done with a therapist, past life regression therapist, who takes you into a past life. You experience it yourself. It can also be experienced through a past life reading. So both of these modalities, like I have seen it myself, that they give equal benefit to the person. The past life readings are very easy to get. They're very easy to uh, experience yourself, because for the past life regression session, you would yourself have to experience the past life. In a session, maybe you'll experience one. In a reading, you can easily see two or three past lives and be able to release the karma also. I personally feel that Earth is probably at that time where so many souls have been born so many times and they're so ready to release the karma. This is the time also which is so hard for so many people, because this is the time that they're also releasing so much pent up karma inside. Like, I feel like whole family lines are being transformed at this time. It is this time. So it is hard, but it is also very, very transforming. So past life regression therapy comes in very, very useful here, so that one can, the other benefit that past life brings is that we can see the soul journey, who have we have been through many lifetimes. It helps us to understand this lifetime. This lifetime, in my experience, it's a hologram of the past lives. Somewhere, whenever I have seen that whatever the past lives will come up with a person, it would be connected to what is happening in their life. Even in the readings, it would be very closely connected to what's happening in their present life. So, somewhere we are also carrying our past lives with ourselves. So, sometimes people ask me that would it be possible for us to guess our past lives? So, our interests also, what we are drawn to, are also an indication that what our past lives could have been. You're drawn to music, or you're drawn to like healing, or you're drawn to maybe wars or battles and weapons. So the kind of past lives that we had would be where we are drawn to. Maybe if we had a really good past life in this particular country or continent, we'd be very drawn to that continent. Or some languages, or some music, or some kind of theater, or some people would look so familiar. So that would be the indication that when I said, oh, Russia, some people who could be very drawn to Russia. Maybe they had a past life in Russia. So what we are drawn to could be an indication of what our past life has been. So because the past lives are not like out there and disconnected from us, they're very much part of us. Many times people experience past life in dreams also. Sometimes during meditation, they might flash. So I feel like it's become more and more easier to look at past lives now, depending on how the energy is changing on earth. The energy is shifting, and it's just all ready to, like the milk boiling over, it's just ready to like transform and change. So in this times, it's so good to like just ride the wave. So if times are appearing difficult to you, know that it's also a transforming time, and take the help of these modalities. Even if you experience it as a skeptic, even if you have doubts, they would still benefit you. Like for a past life reading, you don't even have to believe them. You just have to come with a openness. You just have to come with humility. You have to come with some trust. So the mind might disagree, is it true or not? But the benefit would still be there. So, past lives are really, really interesting to look at, but there are some contradictions also. And I feel the contradictions would be non existent if the therapist is good, because the therapist would be able to sense that what is required at the moment. Like sometimes when people come to me and they tell me, okay, this needs to be done, I tell them that if you go to a doctor, you don't tell them that, okay, please operate on my kidney. You have to give the doctor a chance that this is a better thing to do at this moment or not. So give your therapist a chance and go to a trusted therapist. The contraindication would be if you have experienced dissociation from reality, one shouldn't go for it. Or there could be other modalities which could be more helpful in the particular thing, particular problem that you're facing. But generally for like relationships and for phobias, um, understanding the patterns in life, sometimes even the blocks that we are experiencing. For example, there's a block to abundance. Sometimes it could be coming from a past life vow that a person has taken. Maybe they were a monk in a past life. So, looking at those and releasing them through the past life is very, very helpful. So, a good therapist would be able to guide you. I feel also a good therapist, what they would be able to do is to be able to close the past lives after they have been experienced. Some people become too engaged in the past life. I feel that's one of the dangers, because what is important is the present, and the past life is important to the extent that it can lead to a better present. It can lead to some resolution. It can lead to some understanding, some healing. Only to that extent, the past life is important. So, a good therapist would be able to tie the ends very carefully and not leave the person just with one foot in another life and one in this one. Like they might have been a king in this life, but they aren't in this one. So one has to like really connect it to the present life and bring the meaning back to the present life on what is important and what needs to be integrated. So past life regression is a very, very useful modality, and so many people I feel are also so fascinated by it. It would be like so interesting for so many people to like be able to look at that what is the uh, what is my past. So to go for this therapy whenever indicated, or whenever you have an opportunity to dive in, and it'll help you to see your own soul journey through many, many lifetimes. So thank you, dear friends. Hope this has helped you.